Welcome to Naresh Technologies. I'm Bangar Raju, and in this video I want to demonstrate to you about Linq. So what is this Linq? It stands for Language Integrated Query. What is this Language Integrated Query? Language Integrated Query is a new query language that has been designed by Microsoft in its .NET 3.5. So in the .NET 3.5 framework, Microsoft introduced this language integrated query, which is a query language designed very much similar to the SQL. SQL, all of us, if at all we just talk about SQL, the exact name is SQL, Structured English Query Language, as we call it as SQL. It's a query language that is designed by EF Code for writing queries on relational databases. So whenever you want to write any query on a relational database, we use a language called as SQL. So what is the beauty of SQL? SQL simplifies the process of retrieving data from tables. If you have a table full of data and if you want to retrieve some data from the table, without writing complex queries, without writing complex logics, we can retrieve the information with the help of simple queries, and that is what the beauty and advantage of SQL. So with SQL, database programmers finds it very easy accessing data from the databases or database tables. But when you come to Linq, what is this Linq is? Before this Linq, if at all you want to search some data that is present inside of an array, or a collection, it's a very complex process. Let me demonstrate. Suppose I have a integer array like this with a set of values. Okay, I've just taken a set of values in the array, and now I have a requirement. What is the requirement? The requirement is I want to pick up all the values that are greater than 40, from this array and store it under a new array. If I want to store it under a new array, the first step what I require to do is declare a new array. How to declare a new array? Unfortunately, the problem is arrays are fixed length. When you are declaring an array, you are required to tell the size of the array. So if you want to tell the size of the array, first you are required to count how many values are greater than 40 here. So for that you are required to write a loop first. So what to do first? Int count is equals to 0, and now write a for loop. For int I is equals to 0, I less than arr dot length I plus plus, and now inside of it I require to write my condition. If I greater than 40, count plus equals to 1. I greater than 40, count plus equals to 1. Now if you understand what happens in this particular loop, the loop runs for you for the number of elements, check out what values are greater than 40 and increments the counter. So this count will tell you the number of items that are greater than 40. So now with this size I should declare a new array now. With this size I should declare a new array. Okay, let us declare it. Int brr is equals to new int of the size count. So the new array is declared with the number of items greater than 40, but still they are not copied, only we declared it. Next step. The next step is for int I is equals to 0, one more loop, I less than arr dot length I plus plus. One more time the loop has to run, and now I should check it out. If I greater than 40, that value should be added into BRR. But see, if I want to add the value into BRR, I cannot directly say BRR of I is equals to ARR of I, not possible. The reason for this particular thing, the reason why you cannot do that directly is, The point to note here is the ARR of I and BRR of I are not same. ARR of I represents the number of items for you in the ARR. And how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Total 20. But BRR size is not 20. What is the BRR size? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. So 20 is the size of ARR and 12 is the size of BRR. So I cannot say ARR of I cannot assign ARR of I value directly to BRR. So what to do? I need to take another variable here. Int index is equals to 0. And now BRR of I is equals to ARR of I. So I'm just trying to assign the value. Now what will happen if the value is greater than 40? That value is assigned to BRR. Initially BRR value is 0. So it is assigned to first cell. Understand? ARR of 0. Is it greater than 40? No. So will not enter into the if condition. ARR of 1 greater than 40 enters into if condition, assigns to BRR of 0. Just notice it. ARR of 1 is assigned to BRR of 0. So likewise the loop is going to execute now, and in the next line you are required to again increment the index value. Index plus equals to 1. First value ARR of 0. What is assigned? BRR of 1. That is nothing but 45. Now index will become 1. Now again the loop will run. ARR of 2 greater than 40? Yes. Come here. And because it is greater than 40, this is ARR of 2 and this is BRR of 1. This is not BRR of 2, this is BRR of 1 assigned to second cell. So this is the third value assigned to second cell. So the value comes into this one. Likewise the loop runs and copies all the values into BRR. Finally, if I wanted to sort all the values that are loaded into BRR, what to do? Luckily, the array class in our system namespace provides a method called as sort. By calling this sort method, I can sort the values of the array. Okay, simply call BRR, will sort you the values. And if at all I was asked to just get these values in the descending order, what to do? Array dot reverse. Again a predefined method, BRR. So what happens now? All the values of the ARR that are greater than 40 are copied into BRR and then arranged in the sorted order. This is the logic what we are writing. So let us copy, put it in a project and see this code. Let us choose a console application. I am naming it as some Linq project. Click OK. Well, fine. So whatever code we have written there, let me copy. And I am going to paste it under the main method. Yeah, as it is, I just copied the code in my main method. Fine. Now, let us just print and check out our output. Let us print and check our output here. Okay, first we declared an array, a count variable, a for loop for finding the number of items greater than 40, another new array with the new size and a new index variable, and then a for loop to copy the values of ARR into BRR, and finally we are calling sort and we are calling reverse for printing the values of the appropriate array. So this is what we have been doing right now. Fine. Now let's print it. For each int I in BRR, we want to check the values of BRR here. Console dot write I. I'm trying to print all the values on the same line. So I'll give you some space in the middle. Console dot read line. Yeah. If you run this, you can see all the values that are greater than 40 accessed in the descending order. So this is what. And if you understand the code what we have written here, what we have done actually, we copied all the values that are greater than 40 into a new array. Okay. So to do that, actually there are number of loops that are running in the code. We have written only 2 loops, but there are 4 loops which are going to execute in the code. What are the 4 loops? See, this is the first loop we are writing to find the number of items greater than 40. Second loop, writing for copying the values of ARR into BRR. And even though we did not write sort method, luckily we have a sort method, we called it, but sorting is internally done with some looping mechanism, and reversing is also done with some looping mechanism. So totally how many loops are running? 4 loops are running. If this sort and reverse method are not available, we should explicitly write the code for sort and reverse now. Means 2 more loops, one for sorting, one for reversing. And this is all the code what we are writing for accessing values from the array. See, if we are an application developer, how complex searching and sorting values from an array? A very complicated process. Why? A lot of logic is required. See, a lot of logic. Suppose you are doing the same thing with C language or C++ language, you are required to write the code for sort again, reverse now. Again 2 more loops you should write and execute. So it is going to be a time consuming process. Means as a programmer, we need to write a lot of code. But see, whatever values we are discussing here, suppose if these values are present in a table, suppose if these values are present in one table, suppose assume like I have a table called as a table 1, and in this table I have one and only one column called as column 1, okay, a column called as a column 1, and under this column all the values are present. Whatever values we saw on the top, these are present. What are those? 12, 45, 67. Assume like currently these values are present under my table like this. Okay, so and so values. So all these values what are present now are in one table, and the name of my table is table 1, and the name of the column is column 1. If I ask you to get me the values greater than 40 in the descending order, how do you get? With a simple SQL query. What do you write? Select column 1 from table 1 where column 1 greater than 40, where column 1 greater than 40, order by column 1 DSC. That's it. If you write this statement, you will get up the data. But when the values are present inside of an array, lot of coding we are writing. So if you are a database programmer, your job is very simple query like this. But if you are an application developer, see how complex your job is going to be. A lot of coding has to be written. Actually, we are able to write a query on a table. Why? Because long back they have provided us a language called SQL. What is that SQL? A query language using which we can write queries on relational database tables. And assume like if SQL is not available, what is our fate? If SQL is not available, you are required to write all the code on the table to retrieve the data, just like we written on array. But luckily the SQL was available, simplifying the process. Okay, but if it is not there, we need to write all the code. Now the same idea what Microsoft got here also. What is that? If you can write a query on a table, why can't we write a query on an array? If you can write a query on an array, no need of all this complicated logic now. With a single line of code like this, we can get the whole data. That's what they got. And in this process, Microsoft has designed as a concept called as Linq, language integrated query. A query language very much similar to SQL, but using Linq, we can write queries on a wide variety of data sources. Using Linq, we can write queries on a wide variety of data sources like arrays, collections, database tables, data sets, XML data. You can write query on anything now. How you can write? That's what we'll learn. We'll just write queries on any of these 3 things now. So right now, can I write a query on this particular array? You can. How to write? Watch. What is the syntax to write a query on a normal table? Means it's normal select statement syntax. Select column list from table. Okay. Even though optional, but as a part of a syntax, we just say as alias. And in the last, we say some clauses. Clauses. What comes under this clauses? All the things like clauses means 4 important things that comes for you under the clauses. What are the 4? First one, where, group by, having, order by. And a very important point, whenever you talk about clauses, don't forget the sequence. You must tell them in a sequence. Where clause, group by clause, having clause, order by clause. Like this, we have 4 clauses. With this, we can write a query on a database table. Exactly. We have a query statement which can be used on an array or a collection also. How do you write? Watch. From alias in collection or your array. From alias in your collection or array, then comes with the clauses. These clauses are always optional. These clauses are always optional, not mandatory. Okay. Next, select alias. What does this say? Whatever you have in this query is exactly the same thing what we have here also. But the simple difference is the keywords are a little bit jumbled. This query is starting from clause. It is starting with the from keyword. From. Here what did you write? Table as alias. Table as alias. Okay, this is optional, but still Excel syntax, table as alias. But here is the reverse order, alias in, not as, in the name of the collection or the name of the array. And then clauses are same, but here your query starts with select, here my query ends with select. Select column list, but here alias. Why alias? Array doesn't have column names. So wherever you require a column name, in all those places you are required to use the alias name. See, now by using this particular syntax, I can write a query on this array now. How? See, a simple query for getting all the records as it is now. From I, any name here, alias, in the name of the array, ARR. Clauses, I am not using any clauses now because I don't want any conditions to apply. Select I. Is nothing but select star from array. So this is nothing but select star from array which fetches all the data from the array. Now when it's fetching the data, you want to capture the data, you can capture it like this. Where BRR is equals to. What is this BRR? BRR is nothing but an array. Where keyword. It's a new feature in C# 3.0. What is that? Implicitly typed local variables. You can declare variables by using the where keyword, and the data type of the variable is identified based on the values. So here an array of values will come now into BRR, and BRR is going to be an array. So this is a query which fetches all the data. Can I write a query to fetch all the data greater than 40? We'll try. Where BRR is equals to from I in ARR. Okay, where I greater than 40, select I. What you get? All the values greater than 40 from the appropriate array. Now, I want to try another query. What is that? All the values greater than 40 in a sorted order. Where BRR is equals to from I in ARR, where I greater than 40. So what you are doing now? First you are picking all the values greater than 40. Now what you want to do? You want to arrange them now. How to arrange? Order by. Order by. It's a single word. Not two separate. To order by is a single word. Don't worry. When you are writing the code in Visual Studio, IntelliSense will show you. You don't require to worry about it. Order by I. Select I. What you are going to get now? All the values greater than 40. Okay. All the values greater than 40 in a ascending order. Can I get in a descending order? Where BRR is equals to from I in ARR, where I greater than 40, order by I, descending, DSC, not DSC, we should use the complete word, descending. That all I am telling you. All these things will be shown to you by the Visual Studio. Descending. Finally, select I. Now, if you understand, the last query what I have written you here is equivalent to the whole code what I showed you. The whole code what I showed you. Now choice is ours, whether to write a query like this or whether to write all this coding now. Very complex. You can simplify this now and you can do it with a simple statement like this. Check out. Let's come back to our code now. And right now I've written the old code to get all the values. Fetching you. Now I'll write you the recent code, that is the Linq code now. Okay. Let us add a new class in the project. Add a class. I am not changing the name, let leave the name as class 1. And here I will copy this array first as it is. And come to here. Static void main. Yeah, fine. So we have just declared the same array. Now I am writing my query where BRR is equals to from I in ARR, where I greater than 40. See, IntelliSense is showing you. When you just try order by here, IntelliSense is immediately showing you the name there. Order by. So don't worry about that only. What is the keyword and all, everything it will show you now. Order by I. Next, descending. The whole thing, descending. So there is a help of IntelliSense to you. Select I. Select I. Come on, let's print the value. For each int x in BRR, console.write x plus some space console.readline. Let's run this class. Open the project property window. And in the project property window, set the startup object as class 1. And now let us run class 1. We get the same output what we saw in the previous program. You can check out. But just done with a single line of code. So that is the beauty of Linq. So Linq is a query language designed by Microsoft as a part of the .NET 3.5 framework, using which we can write queries on a wide variety of data sources. Okay. So I just try to give you a basic understanding of the Linq, but there is a lot to talk on the Linq. We'll discuss on this. Well, you can just see, if you want to write a Linq query, you should import one namespace first. Which namespace? System.Linq. Without importing the system.Linq namespace, we cannot use Linq in our code. So compulsory system.Linq namespace has to be imported for writing the query. If you don't import this, you get a compile time error. Errors is coming. It won't recognize you. So compulsory, you're required to import the Linq namespace here. Errors are there. It will tell you about, it doesn't understand what is all these particular things. It is telling you it is referring, missing a reference or not using a system.Linq. It's giving you an information about it. So just simply uncomment and again run the code. It executes. So this is what Linq is. Thank you for watching this, and for more videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, YouTube/NareshIT.